Good morning. I ask that the audience please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the national anthem. I ask that Audrey Chen and William Sellerberg make their way forward. Audrey will lead us in the pledge. Following the pledge, William will perform the national anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Audrey and Will. Graduates, you may be seated. Good morning, and welcome to the Wheatley School's 68th Annual Commencement Exercises. We are here to honor the class of 2025 on this special day. Before we proceed with the ceremonies, please silence your electronic devices. Additionally, we ask that anyone taking pictures do so from the side aisles so as not to obstruct the view of others. High school graduation is a remarkable achievement, representing the incredible work of the young men and women seated in front of you this morning. I'd like to open this ceremony with some important thank yous to the people who have supported these students throughout their East Williston journey. The Wheatley School is fortunate to have such incredible support from both our Board of Education and District Administration. I would like to take a moment to introduce them, and I ask them each to rise to be recognized. From our Board of Education, Mr. Mark Hamburg, Board President. Mr. Robert Fallerino, Board Vice President. Mr. Len Hirsch, Board Trustee. Mr. David Keefe, Board Trustee. And Ms. Tasneem Meji, Board Trustee. From our district office, Dr. Danielle Gately, Superintendent of Schools. Ms. Diane Castangwe, Deputy Superintendent. Mr. Ed Kemnitzer, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction. Thank you all for your consistent support of our students. As we complete our first year as a team, it brings me great joy to offer a very heartfelt thank you to Wheatley's two assistant principals, Ms. Mary Alexis Pace and Dr. Brian Sarandria. In the front seats today, we are joined by our district leadership team, who play an instrumental role in organizing the many remarkable programs across the district and at the Wheatley School, I thank them for joining us today, and to celebrate our graduates, I ask that they please rise at this time. Thank you. We are also grateful for the collaboration and support of the teachers in the East Williston School District. Representing them today is Mr. Ron Roldson, President of the East Williston Teachers Association. Furthermore, we are joined by many members of the faculty. I ask that they please stand as I list their names briefly, including Class of 2025 advisors Ms. Katarina Marrero and Ms. Gina Topping, as well as Mr. Portente, Dr. Lazarus, Mr. Kanuka, Mr. Fuchs, Ms. Andrea Baker, Dr. Stout, Dr. Lorino, Mr. Eula, Ms. Doucette, Ms. Hills, Dr. Warner, Ms. Scatini, Ms. Schachter, and Ms. Silverstein. Finally, please join me in thanking Scott Benke, Wheatley's head custodian, as well as Mr. Jay Monaco, their crew, Mr. Stan Orlovsky, and the students of the Wheatley Graduation Orchestra, and my secretary, Susan Rockline, for all they have done to help prepare for today. And now, I have this opportunity to address our soon-to-be graduates. High school graduation is one of those major life milestones, a moment in life that marks an important point of concluding one stage and beginning another. Some may find it bittersweet, the culmination of what I hope was a terrific Wheatley experience. I also know there are a few students who have been eagerly awaiting this day for a long time and have felt ready to leave high school for quite some time. And for others, it might be a good mix of the two. Whatever the case, enjoy today. It's one of life's special events. Take the moment to reflect, enjoy being in the company of friends, and to celebrate all that you have accomplished. This morning, you will hear remarks from a few people, including your classmates, sharing words of encouragement and memories of your years at Wheatley. Take the time to listen and to remember the words that most resonate with you. These messages are heartfelt, and I hope you can carry them with you as you take your next steps. For me, it is a distinct pleasure to be delivering these opening remarks today. I started at East Williston in 2020, where among other responsibilities was the task of monitoring a lunch period to ensure proper social distancing guidelines. It was there that I met many of you. Yelling from your separate chairs, each 6 feet apart, to declare a classmate sus as you attempted to detect the culprit in among us. There was a point where it seemed like this game would never get old. It's funny now to think of it as a distant memory. And while it has been on display these past 5 years, it was these past few weeks that has really shown the character of this group. From your support from one another at award ceremonies and through the college admissions process, to the entire class remaining at prom until practically the very end, and especially the last day of school, where senior pranks consisted of good-natured, grade-wide flash mobs taking over the auditorium, the hallways, and the courtyard. Now, I don't think I will ever understand the grounds for the fake wedding. I will always remember the fun and joy that you brought to the entire day. It was a testament to who this group is, one that is welcoming of all, who looks out for each other, who always enjoys each other's company, and does all this while being respectful to others and representing yourselves in the best way possible. It demonstrated to me that a lot of you have learned one of the most important truths of life. Your actions matter. They are a reflection on who you are, your hard work, your demeanor towards others, the love you show your friends and family. These things are noticed, and while you may not recognize it in the moment, they have a way of coming back to you. So when you care about something, go for it. When you believe in something, don't let anything stop you, and take others along with. When you have a job to do your best. Time will show that all of these efforts will lead you to the right path as you begin your own individual journeys. Members of the class of 2025, it is about to be all up to you now. We are incredibly thankful for our opportunity to play our part in preparing you, not just with the content and critical thinking skills you need to best understand the world around you and to enjoy all that it has to offer, but also with an understanding of what it means to be a good person who continues to look out for others the way that you did for your classmates here at East Williston. It is with great confidence that we issue these diplomas today, and I know that wherever you go next, you will be prepared to meet success in whatever endeavors you take on. Along with the entire Wheatley faculty, we eagerly await to see what you accomplish next. Congratulations. It is now my honor to welcome to the podium Mr. Mark Hamburg, President of the Board of Education, to share some remarks with the graduates.
Thank you, Mr. Jensen. I'm always humbled to be able to speak on behalf of the Board of Education at our graduation ceremony. So good morning. Welcome, parents, grandparents, relatives, and friends. But of course, most of all, welcome our class of 2025. Congratulations again. Before I begin, I ask that we just take a moment of silence to remember those that are no longer with us since you began your journey here within our schools. Let's just pause to reflect on the many memories that they helped create and the lasting impact that they made on your lives. Thank you. I'd also like to recognize and thank those in the audience and on stage that are veterans, first responders, and who are preparing to serve our country. Please stand so we can show our recognition and appreciation for your service. Lastly, if I may take a moment, I just want to acknowledge two of our board members whose tenure is coming to an end. Tasneem Megji, thank you for your 5 years of dedicated service to our district. And of course, congratulations on your son Ali's graduation today. And David Keefe, thank you for your 15 years of service on our Board of Education and for your more than 40 years of service to our community. Your unwavering commitment has left a lasting legacy. We are truly grateful. Thank you. Graduates, I'm not sure if you're aware, but we're living in complicated times. And with that complexity comes a feeling that you may know very well, anxiety. In fact, a recent book by Jonathan Haidt, The Anxious Generation, describes your generation as one that's deeply affected by technology, addicted to your phones, overstimulated by social media, and sometimes struggling to form real-world relationships. But here's what I want to say to you. This feeling is not new. When I was your age, I was anxious too. In the 80s, my generation lived under the shadow of nuclear war, the devastation of the AIDS crisis, and the height of the war on drugs. Our challenges may have been different, but the anxiety was exactly the same. So yes, some may call you the anxious generation, but more importantly, I think you have the chance to be the disruptive generation. You're growing up in a time when everything is changing. How we learn, how we work, how we communicate, and even how we define reality. Life has never moved faster. And while technology should be making things easier, sometimes it makes it a little harder. There's more choices now than ever before. And with more choices comes more pressure. Just think how long it takes sometimes when you're flipping through Netflix or Hulu or any of the options, and really you end up finding nothing at all. I think we can all admit that technology has made life more convenient, but not always more fulfilling. Maybe what you're really craving is something deeper. Things like connection, meaning, purpose, authenticity. And as you move forward in the next chapter of your lives, I hope those are the things you seek and create. Every generation before you has faced defining challenges. They figured it out. Why should you be any different? Yes, you'll disrupt, but I believe you'll disrupt for the better. So go ahead, be disruptive. It means you're brave. Be anxious, because it means you care. And most importantly, be authentic, because that means you're living with purpose. My wife and I raised our children here, and they graduated from this district. Today, they're out in the world, navigating their own paths, working, contributing, and yes, still facing anxieties and challenges of their own. But what makes us the most proud is not their success, but it's how they've learned to adapt, stay grounded, and remain engaged in the world around them. So my challenge to you is this: challenge your anxiety into awareness. Challenge your disruption into impact. Whether you're heading to college, a trade, the military, or just forging your own path, lean into that discomfort, because that's where growth happens. And as you move forward, find ways to give back. Serve, mentor, lead, lift others up the way your families, your teachers, and your community have always lifted you. Progress doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you take ownership, not just of your future, but of the world that you're going to inherit. So congratulations, class of 2025. Be bold, be kind, and always make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Camberg. At this time, please join me in welcoming Dr. Danielle Gately, Superintendent of Schools, to address the class of 2025.
Good morning. So many of the themes in our speeches are similar. I apologize for anything that's repetitive, but I think they are important. Board of Education members, faculty, staff, families, and above all, each of you sitting before us today. I stand here not only as your superintendent, but as someone who is incredibly proud of each of you as you have inspired me in your journey. In the spirit of our cherished tradition here in East Williston, I want to acknowledge and honor the Wheatley graduates from past years. If you are a proud alumnus, please stand up and be recognized. Your presence here today reminds us of the Wheatley School's enduring legacy of excellence. We gather this morning to celebrate not only the end of your high school years, but the beginning of something entirely new. You've reached a milestone that marks both achievement and transition, and it's worth pausing to reflect on all that's brought you here. In preparing for this moment, I found myself returning to a beautifully simple book that was gifted to me by a colleague earlier this year. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Charlie Mackesy, published only in 2019. If you've never read it, it's a quiet, illustrated story of four unlikely friends: a boy, a cake-loving mole, a cautious fox, and a wise, gentle horse. Together, they walk through life's open fields and uncertain woods, asking questions, offering encouragement, and helping one another through moments of doubt, fear, and hope. The beauty of this book lies in its simplicity. With just a few words on each page, Mackesy explores some of life's biggest questions. What really matters? How do we move forward when we're scared? What does it mean to be brave, to be kind, to be loved? One of the first lines that stayed with me is when the boy asks the mole, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And the mole answers, "Kind." What a beautiful, radical answer, and what an important reminder, especially now. You are entering a world that often defines success through competition, comparison, and constant motion. But let me offer you this. Being kind, truly kind, is one of the most powerful choices you can make. It's how you build trust. It's how you lift others up. It's how you live a life with meaning. Another moment in the book reminds us that strength is not pretending to have it all together. The horse says, asking for help isn't giving up. It's refusing to give up. That is a truth we don't always say enough, especially to our young people. You've just completed 5 years at Wheatley. They were not without their challenges. Your time in high school has included uncertainty, pressures, global events that you never asked for, and yet here we are. You adapted, you grew, you reached out to one another. You've made it. Throughout the years, we've watched you become more than students. You've become mentors, leaders, allies, artists, thinkers, and friends in the classroom, on the stage, on the courts, on the fields. And like the characters in Mackesy's story, you've learned that courage doesn't always mean having the answers. Sometimes it simply means showing up again and again. At one point in the story, the boy turns to the horse and asks, "What's the bravest thing you've ever said?" The horse pauses and answers with quiet strength, "Help." Of all the lessons in the book, I believe this might be the most important. We live in a world that often confuses bravery with toughness, silence, or going at it alone. But real courage, lasting human courage, is often quiet and unseen. It's found in the moment someone speaks up to say, "I'm struggling." It's in the decision to reach out rather than shut down. And it's in the understanding that asking for help is not a sign of failure, but a sign of self-awareness, strength, and the desire to keep going. You will face challenges in the years ahead. Some will be academic, some professional, and some deeply personal. In those moments, I hope you remember, no one climbs every mountain alone. Even the strongest among us need others to lean on, and there is never shame in saying, "I need help." There is only wisdom and bravery. So when you find yourselves uncertain, overwhelmed, or simply tired, I hope you hear the voice of the horse, "Help." And I hope you let that one word remind you that you are never alone and never less than for reaching out. As you look ahead to college, careers, the military, the unknown, there will be moments when things don't go as planned. You will doubt yourself, you will feel unsure, and you will absolutely rise again. Because, as Mackesy writes, sometimes just getting up and carrying on is both brave and magnificent. You don't need to have it all figured out. None of us truly do. But if you move forward with kindness, curiosity, and the courage to ask for help when needed, you will find your way. So to the class of 2025, be gentle with yourselves, be generous with others, keep asking questions, stay open, and remember, you are never alone. Congratulations, we are so proud of you.
Thank you, Dr. Gately. I now welcome Class of 2025 co-presidents Maeve Brady and Autumn Casella to the podium to begin this student section of our ceremony.
Good morning, members of the Board of Education, Dr. Gately, Mr. Jensen, Ms. Pace, Dr. Sarandria, teachers, families, and my fellow members of the Wheatley class of 2025. On behalf of our entire class, it is my pleasure to welcome you today to today's graduation ceremony. My face may seem familiar to some parents in the audience due to my infamous theatrical crying at the Northside drop-off. My mom still tells the stories of me clinging on to the chain link fence, screaming on the top of my lungs that I didn't want to go to school. Every morning, I had to come to terms with the fact that going to school was, unfortunately, the law. To this day, I'm not so sure why I cried every morning until second grade. I was nervous about something, but there wasn't much to be scared of looking back. Northside was all fun and rainbows for the most part. But those fears, as silly as it may seem now, felt enormous back then. And maybe that's the point. We all have moments when something small feels overwhelming, and we grow by pushing through them. I may have been an overthinker since I was 5, but one of the biggest questions that would arise every September was what class I would be in. Opening that letter with our teachers' names determined everything. Who'd we sit with at lunch? Who'd get invited to our birthday parties? Who'd we play stick hockey with during indoor recess? If we would have class pets, and the most pressing concern, who would be on our scooter polo team? The size 12 font printed with our teachers' names seemingly had the power to change the trajectory of our childhoods. But before we knew it, our biggest worries became learning the lyrics to Here Comes the Sun and Unwritten, words that still stay with many of us today. After the moving up ceremony and our lively moving up party where we all showed off our favorite 2017 dance moves, we were hit with our next big fear, Willets Road. We were no longer going to be the kings and queens of the Northside playground. In fact, there was no more playground. Our next worries were who would be our locker buddies? Will we get shoved into a locker? How we navigate the halls? Who we sit with in the cavernous cafeteria? And so many more. As we got into the swing of things, our focus has shifted to how fast we could get to the cafeteria, who would win during recess soccer or Foursquare, would there be enough cinnamon sugar pretzels or cotton candy ice cream left on the snack line, or who would go the farthest on the pacer test. And then came 7th grade and the legendary rite of passage, outdoor ed. It was the first time many of us were away from home, and our biggest fears revolved around bugs, the showers, and whether we'd survive on just pickles and croutons alone. But we more than survived. We thrived, making songs and dances with our dinner tables, crossing swampy obstacle courses, and toasting marshmallows around campfires together. Once we returned and sports started up, the feelings of teamwork and friendship continued. However, our middle school years were cut short on March 13th, 2020. Rumors spread. Will we ever even return back to Willits Road due to COVID? The rest of the year flew by with only slight concerns of Google Meets and Ed puzzles, and our individualized drive-by moving up ceremony was quite literally over in under 5 minutes. And just like that, we were starting all over again with new questions and fears of what the future would look like at Wheatley. We were then 13-year-olds in a building with seniors. Their concerns about applying to college and taking AP tests made our fears seem minuscule. Somehow, in some way, we are now those 17, 18-year-olds. However, I still remember the stress of our first regents, Mr. Gadamowitz's quadratic formula song, Dr. Chen's 200-question delta maths, and Mr. Abdale's famous Go Formative exams. The opportunities at Wheatley were so vast, it was almost nerve-wracking. Will we make the Model UN conference trip, the mock trial states team, or compete in weekly debate tournaments? What will we pack when traveling to Italy, France, Peru, or Spain? How would we tackle class projects like the Macbeth movie trailer, NHD, Hamlet performances, or the Seal of Biliteracy? And the question that really only concerned me, how would we win Showdown? Given all these opportunities, Wheatley became my second home, making me feel like a stranger to the girl who once pleaded to stay home every day. As seniors, our questions got simpler, but somehow scarier. Questions like, what will we wear to prom, the senior party, and graduation? How we managed not to cry during the senior days of sports teams we joined back in 7th grade. What food would we wear off campus last supper? And what college will we rep on commitment day? Now we're at graduation and all these questions have been answered. The emotion behind these final decisions comes not just from stress, but from the feelings of nostalgia from the last 13 years. If it weren't for the laws that mandated attending school, I would have given up a long time ago and never had the pleasure of growing up with my 135 peers beside me. And while the fears we faced over these 13 years seem small in hindsight, they shaped us. Every moment of doubt, every nervous beginning, every Showdown Friday night finale, Shakespeare scene, and cafeteria race led us here. And now, after all this time, you'd still have to peel me off that chain link fence, not because I don't want to go to school, but because I don't want to leave it. So to the Wheatley class of 2025, thank you for being the reason I latched on, and the reason it is now so hard to let go. And now I'm honored to introduce my co-president, Autumn Casella.
Thank you, Maeve. I, too, find leaving Wheatley to be very bittersweet. The past 5 years, we really have shared the same experiences. Homecoming in the torrential downpour, classes taught in the courtyard while Jim remained inside, the trauma of the change of all AP tests and APs to Blue Book, and moments like seeing Mr. Wu get viciously robbed during Showdown of musical chairs. Of course, there were mundane days that I will never remember, and dreadful late nights turned into early mornings spent studying or working on assignments for AP seminar. And of course, there were also the experiences, those more important than school, that reminded us just how much of a privilege it really was to stress over our education. All of us have been shaped by these shared experiences, both the serious and the absurd. Thus, it was only fitting that as we neared the end of our time at Wheatley, Mrs. Blum handed us bookmarks in English printed with Mary Oliver's poem, The Journey. It begins as Mary Oliver writes, "One day you finally knew what you had to do and began." Since entering the district, we have all been on our own journeys, both academic and personal. Thankfully, Wheatley has given us the tools to navigate them. Wheatley is a place that encourages curiosity, supported by several of Mr. Eula's Latin phrases, and by our own school motto, seek the truth. It's a place of dynamism, a place where you find students in an array of competitive or cultural clubs playing multiple varsity sports and instruments or pioneering their own research studies in the lab, all while having 45 absences in a quarter. But jokes aside, this school embodies that an educational journey is not just what is written on our transcripts, but what has been written on our souls. And like every real journey, it demands courage. Wheatley tested our courage daily in moments like passing Susan without a lanyard around your neck, seeing Geraldine as you walked into the bathroom with your phone, or watching yourself in the showdown video in front of the entire school. But for many of us, this courage was actually put to the test in our 10th grade English midterm. The assignment read, present a 10-minute-long TED Talk to the entire class on whatever topic you'd like. Not to mention, a video recording of your TED Talk can be shared to all the staff, administration, parents, and community. With this daunting task at hand, we were given the weight of picking the topic that meant the most to us, beginning the path of carving out our individuality. In the end, after a month's hard work of research and practice, the class of 2025 unsurprisingly blew it out of the water. 15-year-olds presented on topics that ranged from congressional gerrymandering to the theories of the multiverse. As Mary Oliver wrote, little by little, there was a new voice, which you slowly recognized as your own. And there it was, the beginning of our own voices. Of course, not all of our journeys led or will lead in the same direction, but Wheatley has helped us cultivate a moral compass, especially in times of stress. Even just this past year, a majority of us spent months planning out our futures and the next paths we'll take through the incredible stressful journey, the college application process. Parents, you've seen the intensity of this time. It's not often that you'd find high school seniors in a school as rigorous and competitive as Wheatley for students not to be secretive during essay writing. Yet on a cold winter's day, I was reminded of my peers' integrity. There in the library, a random group of about over 20 Wheatley seniors sat helping one another, showing each other how we formatted the activities list on the application, correcting each other's grammatical errors, and trading laptops back and forth to read over supplemental essays. This small moment was a reminder of what our class largely stands for, supporting the success of our peers over the sole success of ourselves. A microcosm of the class of 2025's morality. Even being on our own journeys, we did not lose sight of our camaraderie and the belief that your journey is never really yours alone. Graduates, today marks the end of our Wheatley journey and the beginning of a new one. For many of us, it means new places, new people, and new obstacles. As Mary Oliver writes in her last line of the journey, we will continue to stride deeper and deeper into the world. However, I will say, I hope our next journeys are as fruitful as this one. I hope our next journeys make us all laugh as hard as we did when Dr. Clapper was attacked by the goose in the courtyard, smile as much as we did when our grades stormed the testing center blasting music, and even cry as much as we did on the last day singing ribs with the people who have shaped our futures the most. We leave our Wheatley journey with the courage, the voices, and the hearts to start again. Like Mary Oliver says, we finally know what we have to do, and we begin. Congratulations, class of 2025, and thank you.
Thank you, Maven Autumn, for that fabulous student welcome. Our first musical performance this morning will be performed by Arcella Jazz. He will be playing the main theme from Interstellar on the piano. Arcel shared that he chose this piece because of its soaring emotion and quiet intensity that reflect the feeling of graduation. It expresses the journey of leaving behind what we've known and stepping into the unknown, capturing both the awe and the emotion of moving forward. Once again, Arsel Ijaz. Thank you, Arcel. I now have the pleasure of introducing the first of two honors essays read this morning. Maximilian Janis will now come to the podium to present his essay, Same Tree, Different Roots.
Good morning. My name is Maximilian Alexander Janis. My best friend is a star tennis player. He listens to motivational speeches, watches food videos while eating, and received a BSMD scholarship from Hofstra University. Another friend, a heavyweight wrestler who loves chocolate milk and has an entire backyard of chickens. He taught himself computer sorting algorithms before most of us even knew how to format a Google Doc. One of my oldest friends is a first-generation Polish-American student on a pre-dental track who knows I'll never say no to her family's home-cooked meals, secretly obsessed with punk music. Sorry. And another, his parents came all the way from China for the promise of a better life. I met him talking about iPad games at Northside. He's headed to the Ivy League now because of his relentless passion for mathematics. And I share this not to spotlight individuals, but to make a bigger point. This class, this small group of 136, has never looked the same, spoke the same, or thought the same way. We come from families with ties to Asia, Europe, North America, South America, Africa. We speak different languages at home. We eat different meals for dinner, pierogi, pho, roti, goulash, or just Chick-fil-A. We celebrate different holidays, worship in different ways, and we argue like siblings in group chats. And yet what makes us different doesn't divide us, it gives us perspective. And for all those differences, our families had one thing in common. Every parent or guardian who chose East Williston did so for the exact same reasons. The award-winning teachers, the small, close-knit community, the access to top-notch tutors, next-level sports, inclusive clubs, diverse curricula, and programs that supported students with all kinds of needs. And some parents like mine attended this very district themselves and returned because they believed in what it could offer for the next generation. They specifically chose the #1 school district in New York State to support their children's dreams of becoming future engineers, doctors, lawyers, business people, artists, and so much more. And for this reason, we all ended up crisscross applesauce on the same rainbow-tiled rugs, in the same bright green outdoor ed t-shirts, and in the same late-night Snapchat group chats, all working to become the people we want to be and the people our parents knew we would become. Our parents have invested and sacrificed so much to watch us grow, from the little kids that cheered for field day to the young adults agonizing over the college admissions process. They saw our first grade selves line the bleachers of the Northside Frog and Toad Show. They saw the smile on our faces when telling elaborate stories about what we saw under the Star Lab. They saw us win awards in chess, design, chemistry, dance, computer science, driving our passions for success. And they also saw the tears that came with heartbreak, conflict, rejection, learning difficulties. But our parents didn't lose sight of the bright future they knew was in store for us by being a part of this school district and community. And they say that 90% of the time that a parent spends with their child is in the first 18 years of that child's life. And while this may sound incredibly sad to some of you, for others like myself, it serves as a reminder that our parents have devoted such attention and perseverance into preparing us for the future to come. Because the truth is, when we leave here today, we're headed to over 20 different states and over 30 different cities, spreading the knowledge, love, support, kindness, and truth that we've been shown by our families here at Wheatley. And that foundation wasn't built in a vacuum. It was built in moments that shaped us long before senior year. Like rehearsing for the 4th grade moving up ceremony, where I made my mom practice a dance routine with me so I could be a part of the performance group. Because even then, I wanted to show up for my friends and family, no matter how ridiculous it felt. Or the Willits Road 7th grade drive-through graduation ceremony during the pandemic, where our teachers showed up for us, stood masked, and wished us into a better life at high school. It was built in the hours of the guidance department spent helping us rearrange summer plans for college meetings, placement tests, and last-minute course advising. It was built by the teachers who gave up hundreds of hours for extra help, staying late for AP prep, unit reviews or finals, or just helping with that one tricky math problem. And it was built by the thousands of fist bumps from our bus drivers, the daily greetings of our custodians and hallway monitors, and the infinite meals served by our incredible kitchen staff. Constant reminders that every person in this building showed up for one reason: to help us succeed. Because we're leaving for different fields: engineering, medicine, law, the arts, but we carry the same spirit, the same support system, the same Wheatley way. And wherever we end up next, college, internships, jobs, new homes, will bring a piece of this community with us. Serdecznie dziękuję mojej rodzinie za miłość I wsparcie, and thank you all of the families for their love and support. When we walk off the stage, we're not just carrying a diploma, we're carrying years of love, patience, and sacrifice that helped us get here. We're carrying inside jokes from classrooms, late night panic texts, hallway laughs, and quiet, tearful triumphs. We're carrying friendship, kindness, and truth, because we already have everything inside of us that we need to succeed. So wherever you go, whoever you become, never stop doing what this district and our parents have taught us best. We were raised by a unique village, so let's walk forward not just as graduates, but as reflections of everything and everyone that believed in us. Thank you.
Wonderfully said, Max. I ask that you please join me now in welcoming Jacob Ferraro and Ava Varghese to the stage. Their performance of I'll Always Remember You. Jacob and Ava share the following about their selection. It reflects both the nostalgia and excitement we feel as we leave high school behind. It's a song many of us grew up with, and its message about holding on to memories felt right for our last moments together.
Always knew this day would come. We'd be standing one by one with our future in our hands. So many dreams, so many plans. I always knew after all these years there'd be laughter, there'd be tears. Never thought I'd walk away with so much joy but so much pain. And it's so hard to say goodbye. Yesterday's gone, we gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moments, so glad I got to know you. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember you. Another chapter in the book. Can't go back, but you can look. And there we are on every page. Memories I'll always save. Up ahead on the open doors. Who knows what we're heading towards. I wish you love, I wish you luck. For you the world just opens up. But it's so hard to say goodbye. Yesterday's gone, we gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moments, so glad I got to know ya. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember you.
Every day that we had, all the good, all the bad, I'll keep them here inside. All the times that we shared, every place, everywhere, you touched my life.
Yeah, one day we'll look back, we'll smile and we'll laugh, but right now we just cry. 'Cause it's so hard to say Yesterday's gone, we gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moments, so glad I got to know ya. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember you. Oh, I'll always remember you. I'll always remember you.
Thank you, Jacob and Ava. Another excellent selection for today's ceremony. We now welcome Elena Pinto to the podium. She will be reading her honor essay, Passing Time.
Good morning, fellow graduates and guests. As I reflect on our educational journeys thus far, one word keeps surfacing: change. From entering high school in masks, our hearts still halfway in pandemic mode, the changing of principals more than once, the dramatic closing and triumphant reopening of the Starbucks nearest to school, the mandate of lanyards as a new fashion statement, and finally, the highly contentious later start time. Yet through all of this, what stands out most is not just how much has changed, but how we've evolved through it. That, to me, defines the class of 2025. And while change has been constant, when seemingly trivial tradition has remained consistent: passing time. The 4-minute window between classes has survived schedule overhauls, pep rally interruptions, and more. Now, parents and families in the audience, you might be thinking, 4 minutes, that's a generous amount of time to walk from one classroom to another, especially since the halls of Wheatley form a literal square. But I've volunteered at enough Meet the Teacher nights to know that even 20 minutes isn't enough for some of you to make your way from the 100s to 200s hallway without stopping at the water fountain, running into your neighbor, and somehow ending up in the cafeteria. You may ask, why do those few minutes fly by so fast? It's because passing time is never just about walking. It's about catching up with someone you haven't seen since second period gym, chasing down a teacher who's speed walking by, or making an important life decision in front of the lockers. Tardies may follow, but passing time was one of our first tastes of real freedom. How we chose to use that fleeting, unstructured time said something about who we were becoming. And over time, those choices evolved too. But to truly appreciate passing time, we have to rewind. In elementary school at Northside, we didn't have passing time. We had structure. We stayed in one classroom all day, our teacher ushering us from art to music to lunch. Solo trips to the bathroom felt like daring expeditions, and the idea of straying from point A to B hardly crossed our minds. Still, that stability, the chance to really know everyone in our class every single day, was valuable. We didn't crave passing time because we didn't yet crave autonomy. Not yet. Then came Willits Road. Suddenly, passing time existed, sort of. In 5th grade, switching classrooms once a day felt revolutionary. By 6th grade, picking a world language and instrument nudged us towards real independence. And in 7th grade, we experienced full-on classroom rotations. Passing time, though monitored, was ours. But just when we started to embrace our newfound freedom, the world shut down. As 7th graders, we met Google Meet. The classroom was now our bedroom. Our desks, bedspreads. Some of us had cameras on, most of us didn't. We had ironically all the passing time in the world, and yet none at all. I, for one, longed for structure, so I created my own. Morning alarms, getting dressed, watching Mrs. Dragon's morning announcements on YouTube. I scheduled breaks, my own homemade passing times, to walk around and reclaim some sense of normalcy. That ritual reminded me that even in isolation, how we choose to spend our time matters. especially the in-between moments. So when we arrived at Wheatley, masked and distanced, we were hungry for interaction. Red tape down the middle of the halls kept us in our lanes, unable to cross. It was orderly, but restrictive. I remember racing through the halls trying to snag a coveted desk in the courtyard outside the cafeteria. There was fierce competition for those socially distanced seats. But I only ran so fast, careful to stay within the confines of my side of the hall. So when the tape came off, it felt like we were finally free. At first, I rushed through the halls, determined to make it to class on time. But eventually, I slowed down, smiling at friends, exchanging quick conversations with teachers, and simply being present. I often stopped in my locker, so rarely used at Wheatley, you'd think they were just wall decorations with zip ties. Though I still felt that tug of punctuality, I realized those 4 minutes weren't just about walking. They were about everything that could happen in between. Of course, some of us use the renowned off-campus privilege to extend passing time, and for them, the bell has always been more of a gentle suggestion. But however we used it, passing time became a small rehearsal for the choices we'll now face every day. Because now, as we graduate, the bell won't ring for us anymore. There are no longer 4-minute interludes neatly built into our lives. We're entering a world where all the time is passing time, and we alone will decide how to spend it. So I urge you, the class of 2025, be intentional. Time won't pause between each opportunity and challenge. There won't always be a designated break to catch your breath, but you can still build in space to reflect, recalibrate, and grow. In the book, The Bell Jar, Sylvia Plath writes, "I saw my life branching out before me like the green fig tree. From the tip of every branch, like a fat purple fig, a wonderful future beckoned and winked." She describes the paralysis of choice, how waiting too long can cause those figs to wrinkle and drop, opportunities lost to indecision. But the answer isn't to act impulsively either. My challenge to you, find your ideal passing time, enough space to reflect, seek wise counsel, and then move forward with clarity. Don't rush, but don't stand still. We may never sprint through these square hallways again, but if we carry with us the lessons of passing time, its freedom, its fleetingness, its quiet wisdom, we'll be ready for what comes next. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2025.
Thank you, Elena. Another wonderful speech. It's my pleasure to welcome Alexa Hurston and Emma Santarelli to the stage for our final student performance. For their selection, Alexa and Emma explain, the song For Good means a lot to us, especially today. Its message, that people come into our lives and change us in lasting ways, feels like the perfect way to describe what these past years have been. Class of 2025, because we knew you, we have been changed for good.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a seed dropped by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you,
because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
and just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for.
But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore.
Like a comet
Like a
from
ship
orbit
blown from
as
its
it
mooring
passes,
by a wind off
like
the
a
sea,
stream that meets
like
a
a seed dropped
boulder
by a
halfway
bird in
through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better?
I do believe I have been
changed for the better.
And because I knew you,
Because I knew you.
because I knew you, I have been changed for good.
Thank you, Alexa and Emma, for another incredible performance. These speeches and musical renditions have been such a wonderful celebration of this class. We now turn to two very special awards, the first of which will be presented by Mr. Ron Roldson.
Good morning. It's an honor to be here to celebrate the class of 2025. For the past 38 years, the East Williston Teachers Association has awarded a scholarship to a graduating senior whose plans are to study education. The David K. Israel Scholarship is named after a 40-year veteran English teacher who served as the East Williston Teachers Association president for more than a quarter of a century. Additionally, David was a founding trustee for the EWTA Scholarship Foundation that presents this award this morning. I am proud to announce that the scholarship is renewable for 3 additional years of undergraduate work, provided that the recipient reaffirms his or her commitment to educating the students of the future. I know that I speak for all of our members when I say we're proud to support our students as they begin their academic journey, especially when those pursuits will culminate in what I know will be a rewarding career as an educator. We cannot think of a more fitting way for a group of teachers to honor our profession and give back to the community. This year, the seniors who have applied have already accomplished great things. They've won awards for their athletic accomplishments, they've achieved Eagle Scout honors, they have won robotics competitions, and they've performed on the Wheatley stage. Decisions of this type are never easy to make. However, the screening committee agreed that the young woman we honor today already exhibits many of the characteristics needed to become an outstanding educator. One of her teachers states the following: I have been able to witness her passion for teaching, for engaging with the content and discussing subject matter with her peers. Although young, I have already seen the foundations of an individual who will grow into an exceptional educator, as well as demonstrating herself to be an individual who will continue to challenge herself both academically and professionally. Another teacher noted that without a doubt, she is that once-in-a-lifetime teaching career student that I will have had the honor of working with. The University of New Hampshire is truly fortunate to welcome her this fall. It is with great pleasure that I present the David K. Israel Scholarship to Ms. Seren Lark.
Congratulations, Seren. And thank you, Mr. Rolson. Mr. Robert Fallerino, Vice President of the Board of Education, will now present the Dr. Jane Ann Smith Citizenship Award.
Thank you, Mr. Jensen. It is my pleasure to be able to present the Dr. Jane Ann Smith Award for Citizenship. It's going to be given to a member of the senior class, and this award was named after an outstanding member of the East Williston Board of Education, who served with great distinction from 1965 to 1983, and as board president from 1978 to 1981. This student was selected by the members of the class of 2025 as a classmate who they determined to have met the following standards. One, who has demonstrated interest in improving the school or community. One, who has maintained high personal ideals, principles, and values. One who has aimed to maintain and improve school or community spirit. One who has shown a high degree of responsibility, reliability, and loyalty. And one who has been willing to work hard toward important goals without thought of reward or self-importance. It is my distinct honor to be able to present the 2025 Dr. Jane Ann Smith Citizenship Award to Maeve Brady.
Congratulations, Maeve, and thank you, Mr. Fallerino. At this time, I invite members of the Board of Education for the conferral of diplomas. Dr. Sarandra and Ms. Pace will announce our graduates as they walk across the stage to receive their diploma.
Maximilian Janis. Arsal Ijaz. Jacob Ferraro. William Sellerberg. Emma Santorelli. Alexa Herson. Ava Varghese. Elena Pinto. Autumn Casella. Maeve Brady. Audrey Chen. Arabeth Gu. Elise Yan. Amanda Papageorge. Lauren Gong. Seren Lark. Emily Solomon. Chloe Katagas. Diana Barzayo. Kushbu Balani. Josephine Chow. Dylan Moray. Eric Cheng. Danielle Amuna. Jessica Siskind. Monique O'Connell. Nessa Haruni Shirazi. Zoe Lahiji. Isabella Lomanto. Andrea George. Alina Kedatov. Meghna Venkatesh. Rosanna Pranito. Ari Young. Adriana Patrizzo. Ella Zong. Mutashma Shaf. Alicia Wang. Lauren Shin. Bakashri Dama. Anya Patel. Malia Balu. Eleni Daskalakis. Emily Rebel. Madeline Wrong. Samantha Jackness. Julia Petty. Mackenzie Sparacia. Yana Philippou. Jana Dervisevic. Angelina Michelis. Dylan Kaufman. Alyssa Bagan. Nicole Shalamov. Jordan Fatusi. Matthew Ree. Manav Trivedi. Ethan Lee. Rylan Bow. Wesley Lee.
Thomas Lee. Dean Yang. Matthew Lee. Vihan Shah. James Iannone. Riley Lindenauer. Go to the X. Sarik Gupta. Go to the X. Daniel Haroon. Stephanie Kovalevsky. That is an easy one. Rachel Walsh. Layla Goldberg. Go to the X. Arika Goher. You can go to the X. Jeanette Toki. Melissa Lee. Go to the X. Vincent Salidas. Matthew Mora. Rafi Salim. Hitansh Jain. Michael Offsey. Samuel Gilbert. You can go to the X. Zachary Gilbert. Go to the X. Cooper Gold. John Rubino Jr. Jacob Davidov. Joseph Yusupov. Aaron Farhangian. Nadav Faranik. Eric Wu. We're going to go to the X. Brijesh Singh. Henry Gucker. You can go to the X. Francis Tortorello. Alexandra Liu. Alessandro Contorno. Anika Carr. Paul Barton. Ratika Carr. Morgan Doan. Aryan Badlani. Miraj Pahuja. Ali. Sef Ali Salim. Angela Kramitsos. You can go to the X. Maeve Dearborn. Helena Fabazuski. You can go to the X. David Kirshner. Ali Megji. James Kasparian. Robert Strong. We'll go to the X. Alexander Smith. Ilion?
Yeah, Ilion.
Got it. Ilion Sitaf. You can go to the X. Nathaniel Mulclean. Lorenzo Chang. Maximilian Melnikov. Logan Knapp. It's okay. Henri Lewis. Go to the X. Aaron Rahan. Dean Yaman. Troy Golden. Noah Mozinia. Giovanni Gregorio. Gabriel Hen. Paul Cappy. Anthony Solino. Kevin Seawalt. You can go to the end.
No, don't worry.
Okay. Noah Fiorillo.
Oh, that's you?
Andrew Asaro. Anthony Samponia. Stand on the X. Anthony Baldessano. Matthew Cunny. Dylan McCauley. Stand on the X. Robert Truskowitz. Ryan Silva. Angelo Severa. I'm going to stand right next to you. Vincent Leva.
Thank you, Ms. Pace and Dr. Sarandria. Dr. Gately, Mr. Camberg, and members of the Board of Education. As principal of the Wheatley School, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Education of the East Williston School District and the Education Department of the State of New York, I proudly certify that the 136 members of the class of 2025 have met their obligations for graduation. As such, these students now join the 10,055 students who over the past 67 years have earned the right to be called Wheatley graduates. At this time, I ask that the Dr. Jane Ann Smith Award winner, Maeve Brady, join me at the podium. Right there, everyone. Would the graduates please rise? The tassel you wear on your cap is a symbol of your success. By wearing it on your right side, it symbolizes that you have earned the right to graduate. Moving it to the left side of your cap symbolizes crossing over from high school to the next stage of your life. Maeve, please lead your class in the symbolic moving of the tassel from right to left. And now, Maeve, please lead your class in tossing your caps. Bobby pins make it tricky work, right? Should have told you. A few bobby pins must be removed. You can do a countdown, okay?
Yeah, I will.
Thank you, Maeve. Congratulations, graduates, and thank you, everyone. Thank you once again, everyone, for being here to make this ceremony so special. In just a moment, the Wheatley Graduation Orchestra will perform the recessional. Audience members, please kindly remain at your seats and clear the aisles until the recessional has completed. Thank you again for joining us, and best of luck once again to all of our incredible graduates.